Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic human.
There's nothing average about the Air Force Academy or those who come here.
It takes more than smarts and good grades.
It takes grit.
It's for the I never quit students, the relentless, persevering, most likely to keep trying until I reach my best students.
Because we will go on to lead others, push boundaries, save lives, and represent American ideals.
If you've got what it takes, prove it.
All right. And here we are for the Falcon Flight Report. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. Joining me shortly next week will be Rick Baum. Once the holidays were over, our schedules were a little conflicted, but very excited to have Rick. Rick is an impressive man who helps out kids, and he is a Air Force lifer. He's done some great things for the university and is going to help me navigate along the way, since I am still learning myself about the Air Force Academy and their athletics. As they returned from Christmas break, we had a limited schedule, but we did have some games, and we are going to cover them. And we were going to start with the women's basketball. Women's basketball, they lost to San Diego State in this was a conference play, the Mountain West play. They lost 62-51. They put forth a very tough showing. It was Wednesday afternoon. They were on the road at San Diego State. They struggled to sustain offensive momentum, and that is why they lost. Senior Melanie Perry, that's our girl, she scored a game-high 18 points. Junior Jordan Devon had 10 points, and freshman Brett Clay contributed 9 points and added a career-best 7 rebounds. Senior Emily Adams added 8 points and a game-high 3 steals. So the Falcons trailed 14-11 at the close of the first quarter. San Diego State and the Falcons opened the game, locked in early back and forth, which held at a single possession for the majority of the first quarter. Perry scored her first basket of the afternoon, battling Aztec Nyela Williams near the San Diego State University paint and landing a jumper at the elbow to beat the first quarter buzzer. The Aztecs lead inflated to 12 after San Diego State opened the second quarter on a 9-0 run. The Falcons spent the rest of the first half whittling away at their deficit and cut it back to as little as 4 points inside the final minute. But a corner 2 from Aztec Nat Martinez left Air Force with a 28-22 lead to come back from at the second half. San Diego State rapidly swung scoring back in its favor to open the third quarter. They went on an 8-0 run to push another 12-point lead. Air Force again mustered a response, cutting the Aztecs lead in half, but struggled to score down the final 5 minutes of the third quarter and faced down another 12-2 run in advantage. San Diego State, went on a run, and Air Force was trailing 49-32 going into the fourth. Brett Clay fueled a 7-0 Air Force run, which put them within 10 points in the early fourth quarter. The Falcons paced San Diego State in field goal percentage and outscored the opposition 19-13. Air Force closed the game on a 10-3 run in the final 3 minutes, but little time remained to mount a full comeback. For the game, San Diego State, their free throw percentage was 72%. They had 12 steals, and for the game, Air Force led San Diego State in free throw percentage, 72%, and they had 12 steals, and they tied the Aztecs in both points off turnovers, 13, and second chance points, which were 4. So looking at this game, Air Force only shot 35% from the field. San Diego State shot 42%. The biggest difference was from 3-point range. Air Force shot 17% from three-point land, and the Aztecs shot 32%. And as we said, free throw percentage, we shot 72%. San Diego State shot 54%. They had the edge in rebounding, 41 rebounds. We had 33. And they had 13 turnovers. We had 11. We had 12 steals to their 3. So that was impressive as well. It was just a tight ball game at halftime, 28-22. And then the third quarter was when our struggles really started to show. San Diego State scored 21 points. We scored 10. So for us, like we said, Melanie Perry, 34 minutes. She scored the 18. She also had 2 steals. She had 4 rebounds. She did a nice job. Jordan Devon, had 10 points. She also had 2 steals and 5 rebounds. She did a nice job. Where was my girl? Oh, Jada McNabb. Jada McNabb had been playing very well. She struggled this game. She did not have a point. She had 3 turnovers, but she did have a couple assists. She had 5 rebounds. But for her, she scoring wise had been a force that we had seen in previous contests that she did not have this game. Brett Clay, as we mentioned, had the 9 points, and she had an assist and 7 rebounds. So she was close to a double-double. But the free throws, we were 8 for 11 from the free throw line. Very good. The 3-point issue was what caused, I think, the loss in general. We were 3 for 17 from 3-point land. 3 for 17. So that is not going to get it done. 17% from 3-point land. And the Aztecs, I mean, they didn't have anyone who was like remarkable. Nyala Williams had 12 points. She had 3 assists, 4 boards. Naomi Pantaganabin had 8 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. And Nat Martinez had 8 points, 2 assists, 5 boards. So across the way, I mean, they were pretty balanced scoring wise. They had Caitlin Hamilton off the bench. She had 10 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 4 boards in 19 minutes. But other than that, I mean, the scoring was pretty spread out. And this is a team that the women can play with and that the women can absolutely beat. They need to shoot better from the outside, and they will take care of business. The next game, they unfortunately lost a close one, a barn burner, to UNLV, 64-58. So Air Force is now 7-7, 1-3 in the Mountain West for the women. So Air Force trailed UNLV by a single possession with 14 seconds remaining yesterday, but fell to the 4-time reigning Mountain West champion Lady Rebels 64-58 on Saturday afternoon at Clune Arena. Melanie Perry and here we go, Jada McNabb, both led Air Force in scoring with 14 points apiece. Jada McNabb, and she is a force. I do like her. I think that she is developing. I think she's getting better every game, besides last game, obviously. But I think she is going to be a force to be reckoned with as we go further into conference play. It was a senior high. It was It was a personal best for Jada. The 14 points. So it was good to see. Both players totaled 7 and 8 rebounds and 4 and 3 assists. McNabb also completed the day with a game high 3 steals. Junior Alexis Cortez complemented the Falcons scoring, contributing 10 points, which was a season high for her as well. So Air Force trailed 17-16 at the close of the first quarter after the Falcons claimed an early lead. A 9-0 UNLV run put the Lady Rebels ahead, but the Falcons never quit. Down 17-14 on the final possession of the first quarter, Cortez sunk a hook shot from under the UNLV rim to cut it back to within a single point at the end of the first quarter. And then the Clays of Brett. She had a three-pointer. She was uncontested from the left wing, brought the Falcons a brief 19-17 lead in the opening minutes of the second quarter. From there, UNLV broke off a 16-1 run. Wow, that is not good. 16-1 run. So defensively, Air Force has to be able to respond. They have to take better shots. From what I saw, pass the ball around more. Don't rush. Get good looks. That is important. You have to get good looks. And obviously, I have my UConn sweatshirt on because I'm a UConn person. That is the one thing that Gino, Coach Oriema, does well. They pass and pass and pass until they get a good look. There is no rush. You have plenty of time. So the 16-1 run halted by Emily Adams. She had a second chance put up to soften the Air Force deficit 33-22 with 40 seconds to go in the third. And I believe Keely O'Halloran, three-pointer, as the shot clock expired, fell, lifting Air Force back to a 35-28 with under a minute to go in the half, capping off an 8-2 Falcon response to end the first half. So as you can see, the Falcons have grit, they have toughness, and they will keep coming no matter what. You know, a 16-1 run would crumble some teams, not Air Force. They fought back, and they fought back hard. So the third quarter scoring ended in a stalemate. Both Air Force and UNLV finished with 11 points apiece. UNLV's Mariah Aloha Helm scored consecutive three-pointers to extend the Lady Rebels lead to 42-30. Air Force responded with an all-out effort as four Falcons found the basket, outscoring UNLV 9-4. Their deficit was back 46-39 with 10 minutes remaining. So Air Force was down 7 points with 10 minutes remaining. UNLV again worked its way to an 11-point lead to start the fourth quarter. Air Force answered the call, scoring 6 straight to trail just 50-45 with 5 minutes to go. McNabb, my girl Jada McNabb, her 10-point fourth quarter willed Air Force forward in the final 10 minutes of the game. Down 54-46 with under 3 minutes to go. McNabb's first three-pointer and fast break layup on back-to-back possessions. Air Force left Air Force down 54-51 with 1:42 remaining in the game. So again, you see UNLV work to an 11-point lead. Air Force fights its way back. They fight and they fight and they fight. Nobody fights harder. Nobody believes. Nobody has more grit. Nobody has more determination. Nobody has more desire. But on the resulting UNLV possession, Lady Rebel Jasmine Lott hit a three-pointer with a minute remaining in regulation. UNLV had a 57-51 advantage. Air Force and UNLV traded just blow for blow down the stretch. A driving layup for Perry. McNabb had a second three of the third quarter that pushed the Falcons back into a single possession game twice in the final minute. But UNLV held Air Force at bay from the free throw line to close the game. So Air Force lost a battle against the champions, UNLV, the champs. And, Air Force outscored UNLV 19-18 in the fourth. It really came down, the second quarter. UNLV had 18 points. Air Force had 12. So, the team stat line, again, 3-point shooting is hurting us, is hurting Air Force. We did only shoot 31% from the field. UNLV shot an astounding 48%. 3-point percentage. UNLV shot 46% from 3-point land. That is remarkable. We only shot 22%. Free throw percentage, UNLV was at 66%. We were at 70%, but at critical moments, we missed when we shouldn't have. Rebounding, again, UNLV had the edge, 41-37. But, turnovers, we won the battle. UNLV had 16 turnovers. So Air Force, we have to take a better advantage. We have to take advantage of those free throws, of those turnovers, and make points out of them. We only had 4. And we had 8 steals. So Air Force defensively is very, very tough. They will steal the ball. They will force you into turnovers, unforced errors across the board. So while it was a loss and it was a league loss, it showed that Air Force is right there. They are right there. They're on the brink of something special, and they just need to go on a run. They just need to go on a run and get things going. And my girl, Jada McNabb, 14 points. She had 3 steals, 2 blocks, 4 assists, and 8 boards. Jada McNabb is a player. She is a superstar, in my opinion. And then, of course, you have Melanie Perry. She is a superstar. 35 minutes played, 14 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 7 boards. With those two, you're just looking for that one more to be that 3-headed monster. Alexis Cortez off the bench, 10 points, 2 steals, 3 boards. That's incredible production from somebody off the bench and playing 30 minutes. She played more minutes than most of the starters. So I give her credit. Air Force does not have a ton of depth. They played 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They played 9, but 2 of the girls had 9 minutes and 3 minutes respectively. They did have Kelly O'Halloran had 21 minutes. But other than that, they're rolling with 6 deep, 7 deep. That's tough. That's tough on your starters. You're putting a lot on them, but they're capable. They're capable. Brett Clay is capable. I know she's young, but she can play. She can play. They have to avoid, getting into foul trouble, and they have to be better from 3-point range. 5 for 22 from 3-point range is not going to cut it. They are better than that, and they have to show it. Because, if they're 8 for 22, 9 for 22, 10 for 22, that will make a tremendous difference. They are not far off from it. They have to be better from the outside. Even their field goal percentage was lower than most teams would like, but statistically, they're right there. They're right there. They're right there from being special. They can make a run. There's no doubt in my mind they can do some damage in the Mountain West once they get things rolling and get things going in the right direction. So the Air Force women, I believe in them. I believe that they will get things rolling. So the men started with a game against Wyoming, and they unfortunately lost 68-56. So the men now are 3-10, 0-2 in the Mountain West. Wyoming's 10-3, 1-1 in the Mountain West. This was Tuesday. Junior Caleb Walker led the Falcons with 17 points. Wyoming raced out to a 36-26 lead at the half, taking advantage 11 Air Force turnovers. That is what you cannot have. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. I'm a football guy, and when you can't beat yourself. You have enough trouble beating the other team. You can't do that while beating yourself. The Cowboys scored 20 of their first half points off of Falcon turnovers. So there you go right there. 36-26 lead, minus 20. That right there is 16-26. So the turnovers were crucial in the first half. Second half, Air Force had a tough defense. They forced Wyoming to go 1 for 15 from the field to open the half. They erased Wyoming's lead with a 15-5 run to open the third quarter and tied the game 41-41 with 6:44 to play. The Falcons were unable to take the lead. Wyoming went on to score, to outscore the Falcons 27-15 the rest of the way. Air Force held the Mountain West top scoring team to 18 points below their 85 points per game average. The Falcons also held the Cowboys to 35.4% shooting on the day, and just 21% in the second half. Walker shot 7 for 9 from the field and got to the free throw line for 7 attempts. He also added 5 rebounds. Guard Cam Sanders and forward Eli Robinson also reached double digits in scoring. Sanders scored 15 points for the Falcons, all in the second half. Sanders got to the line 10 times, making 7. Robinson added 10 points, adding a career highs of 5 steals, 2 block shots. Air Force shot 50% on the day, dominated inside, holding a 42-14 advantage in points in the paint. That is huge. Wyoming got to the line 27 times, making 24. good for 89% on the day from the line. The Cowboys held a 10-1 advantage in threes made in the game. That's huge. Guard Nasir Meyer led Wyoming with 14 points and 6 assists. So that was a tough one. And then Air Force went on to play UNLV. So if you look at this game, 68-56. And the second half, we had 30 points, they had 32. It was just, we struggled in the first half. They leapt out to a 36-26 run, and it had to do with the turnovers. When we are turning the ball over 19 times, 20 times, geez, that's not going to get it done. That is not going to get it done. But both teams seem to turn it over quite a bit. But it was the points off the turnovers, I guess, that made the difference. Air Force, Sanders had 15. He had 2 assists, 5 boards. Eli Robinson had 10 points, 5 rebounds. And from there, we also had Justin Hines. I'm sorry, not Justin Hines. Caleb Walker off the bench, 26 minutes, 17 points. 17 points. He also had 5 boards. So that was good to see from Caleb. Just checking here. Caleb is, I thought he was young. He's a junior. Okay, so he's a junior. He's 6'9". He's kind of like that point forward. He can do it all. He's a good guy to have off the bench. But they didn't get a lot of production from Wesley. I'm not going to bother to try to say his last name. Colby Giles only had 4 points. Justin Hines had 3 points. So you got to have more production from those guys, your starters. They're playing, 21, 24 minutes. Wesley only played 14 minutes. And then they went to the bench. Caleb obviously played 26 minutes. He had the 17 points. AJ Patterson played 22 minutes, had 2 points. Just 2 points and an assist. They got to have better production off the bench. And then they had Lucas Hoban off the bench, who did not score. So when you're not having production from your starters, you're going to your bench, you're looking for that spark, you're not getting it, that's going to be a problem. And in a game like this, critical against Wyoming, who is 10-3. I mean, they were right there with a team that was 10-3, 1-1 in the Mountain West. They can play with them. They're right there. They just need to figure a few things out. And again, 3-point range. My God, 1 of 12. We cannot be 1 of 12 from 3-point range and have success. We have to be a better outside shooting team than 1 for 12 for 3-point range. And I know that they are. I know for a fact that they are. I know for a fact that they have the talent. I know for a fact that they can shoot better than 1 for 12. And then you look, rebounding, only 25 rebounds to 36 for Wyoming. That's going to hurt you every time. And I know we may be lacking in size, but you got to do something. You got to box out. You got to make rebounding a priority. And we have the talent to do that. We have the talent to score. We can be better from the 3-point land. We can be better at rebounding. We are capable. We are capable. So before we go into the next game, again, please donate to the Falcon Athletic Fund. we would greatly appreciate it. Add me to Discord so we can come together. Oh, I don't know what Discord is. Can you donate to the Falcon Athletic Fund? That would be great. The Falcon Athletic Fund, listen, Air Force, every dollar counts. They don't go into the transfer portal. They don't have NIL money that they dole out. They are true college players, like them or not. That's what they are. That's what they do. Give me 1 second here. That's what's so precious about them. They play for the love of the game. They play for the love of the game. So support them, please. We are going again. They played against UNLV following, and they lost. Unfortunately, this was not a pretty one. They lost 67-39. They fell to 3-11, 0-3 in the Mountain West. UNLV just dominated. They out-rebounded the Falcons 49-32. And, Lucas Hoban led the Falcons with 11 points. UNLV just controlled the entire game. They scored 40 points in the paint compared to 22 for Air Force. Forward Tyron Jones, he led UNLV with 14 points. Howie Fleming added a double-double with 10 points and 12 rebounds. Air Force struggled across the board to get their offense going. They fell behind 35-20 at the end of the first half. They shot just 30% from the field in the opening half. UNLV used a 24-10 advantage in rebounding, including a 9-2 mark on the offensive boards, and to score 20 points in the paint. The struggles continued into the second half. Air Force was held to 19 points, and they only shot 28% on the day. Hoban was the leading scorer off the bench. He also led the Falcons with 2 steals. Caleb Walker had 10 points and 7 boards. He was 5 for 7 from the field. Air Force had 3 players make their collegiate debuts. Freshman Brendan Martin, Sam Emade, and sophomore Elliott Tate played their first ever college games. And Air Force will play January 6th. It's coming up this week against the mighty Utah State. Utah State at 7 p.m. So this was a tough one. Air Force was just really overmatched here. UNLV shot 43% from the field. Air Force shot 27% from the field, 15% from 3-point land. UNLV only shot 23% from 3-point land. Free throw percentage, UNLV was only 55% from the free throw line. We were 46%. We were out rebounded again. UNLV had 49 rebounds, as we talked about. They had a lot of points in the paint. That made a huge difference. We had 32 rebounds. And turnovers, we had 13. UNLV had 11. We had 6 steals to their 5. So that's disappointing to see. Anytime you're scoring 39 points, we played a tough first half. We were down 35-20, and the wheels really came off the second half, where UNLV scored 32 points and we scored 19. We did not get any production from our starting five. Cam Sanders, 35 minutes, 7 points. Wesley Jaloski, 4 points in 24 minutes. Justin Hines, 0 points, 20 minutes. Eli Robinson, 0 points, 21 minutes. Colby Giles, 9 minutes, 0 points. Then off the bench, Lucas Hoban, he did have 11 points in 26 minutes. Caleb Walker, 10 points in 15 minutes. But anytime you're scoring 39 points in a college basketball game, you are going to struggle to win. But hopefully they can rebound against Utah State. I believe that's who they have next. And get that victory, because it is very, very important. This is a team right now trying to find itself. Being 3-11 is never good. Utah State, they play in 2 days. We're 3-11 overall, 3-6 at home. We're 0-3 in the conference. That has to change, and I think it will. They're very close. They're not typically a team that gets blown out. Other than this game, they did, but typically they have not. So I am going to play again a quick message from our sponsors, and we will be right back. Down south, we have Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. Julius trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments across the country and also go to college showcase camps.